I just wanted to start off by kind of talking about like your move to Domingo and stuff. It kind of came as a bit of a shock. 'Cause I know we chatted at your call like about a year ago, and I know you're kind of
Yeah.
talking about it and to and fro, but obviously, and I've seen you kind of on your Instagram training with Dom and stuff. Tell me a little bit about that move and what kind of got you back into boxing, I suppose.
Yeah. To be honest, after my last fight, I obviously decided to take a rest, and I took some time off, and then didn't really say that I was retired or anything. That wasn't in my thought process. Just people was assuming, because obviously I started the PT and started doing well with the PT, and then it just got longer and longer that I wasn't like fighting or making any announcements. And then one day, I talked to Prince Nazim, not often, but we're in contact, and he always promised to come to the gym to check out the gym. And I train a good kid who's up here with me in Sheffield now, Lightning Junior, and he loves Naz too. So Naz popped down to the gym one day, and he come with his two boys, Adam and Sammy, and they was like, "Oh, you've got to come up to Sheffield. You'd love it up there. Come down, like just come down, check it out." Obviously, I've boxed like all my life. I grew up watching Prince Nazim. I loved him myself, so I knew about the Ingle gym, and obviously I had massive respect for Brendan Ingle, and I used to watch Naz all the time. So I wanted to go to the gym anyway, just to see it. So that it was just like a blessing in disguise, really. Then I come up with Lightning was training. I was doing a bit. Then I went for a chat with Dom, and then just basically was just talking about like what I wanted to do. He explained I was doing a PT, and I said I wasn't ready to retire yet. I wasn't finished yet, and I wanted to give it another go, but obviously wanted a fresh start and start with a new team. And then he said, "Listen, like you've done a few good sessions now this week. Come again and let's start. Let's go." Do you know what I mean? And that's really what I needed. I just needed that. I know all the boys in the gym, get on with all the boys well. And the first day I stepped in the gym, it had a buzz about it, and I really enjoyed that buzz and that feeling being in the gym. And to be back training again, after in December it'll be 2 years out the ring, to be back training again like myself, it was so good, and I really enjoyed it. Enjoyed what we was doing. Enjoyed every day was something new, and I've not looked back. I've been up here ever since.
But like the time out that you had, obviously you had came out on the last and what have you. Were you like at any point contemplating like this is it, or was it just like you just needed a break from it all?
The only time I was saying that was in the changing room after. Do you know what I mean? I just thought my world had ended. I lost to someone who I shouldn't be losing to, no disrespect. And out of my last 3, I lost 2 like bad. They got stopped twice. Do you know what I mean? Going out to Spain for the European title and then getting beat by Ramirez over here. So I wasn't myself. I wasn't right. And then I just needed a break, to be honest. I just needed a break. And then it was, I didn't expect to be out the ring this long, but one thing after another, and then it just, time went on. Then, like I say, I started the PT, and then that went really well. Got so busy with that. And then obviously COVID, and then this year's just wiped out anyway. But to be honest, being back training now, it's like I've never left. I feel really good. My weight's dropped like massively. Not that I put on like big amounts of weight anyway, because I never do. I always stay relatively fit. Like I said, I was PT and I was in the gym every day. So, but being wanting to fight again, obviously I had to get my weight down, and that's been dropping. And yeah, my fitness has been coming back, my sharpness has been coming back. Everything's good. Do you know what I mean? It's not like I'm past it or anything. I've been around boxing a long time. I've had 31 fights, but I haven't had 31 hard fights. Even the ones I've been beat, but they've not been hard fights. They haven't been 12-round wars. I'm not that sort of fighter, so I feel fresh. Do you know what I mean? I can't wait to start again.
being in the gym with obviously like Liam Williams, Kid Galahad, and Willie Hutchinson, does that kind of is that kind of giving you like an extra buzz? You know, having like great fighters around you, you know,
Yeah,
is it giving you that kind of like extra motivation to like, right, I want to kind of give this a second shot?
definitely being with them every day and training with the likes of them every day. They're all world class fighters and the level that I want to be at. Barry, like Kid Galahad, he's in my eyes, he's a world champion. Do you know what I mean? I think he won that fight, and I believe he'll go on and become a world champion. So training with the likes of him every day, pushing, he's a machine. Do you know what I mean? He's been there and done it, and just being in the gym with him is a buzz. Liam's going to be obviously looks like he'll be fighting for a world title in his next fight. Willie's great, like world champion as an amateur, doing great as a pro. Robbie Davies Jr. has been there and done it. He's had the belts. You know what I mean? He's boxing at a high level, and that's the level I want to be boxing at. I want to be getting back into it and get back to a high level and a higher standard.
And the training, how different is it from where you were in the iBox with Alan and Eddie?
It's different. It's like the Ingle way I call it. Is the first things I had to learn was the footwork, the drills on the lines on the floor. Still not got it, but getting there. Yeah, it's my sort of style of fighting up here. Is I like the footwork, I like the movement, and I think it's going well. It's going really well. So I can't wait to put it into the ring now, and it's picking up bits in sparring. They do a lot of body sparring too up here. They don't really open spar. They do that's an Ingle thing too, and that's different. You say body sparring. When I first heard body sparring, I thought, that'll be all right. But it's like a full out open spar, but not hitting to the head. So that's been an eye opener. I've been enjoying that, and yeah, it's completely different. It's a different setup, a different vibe in the gym. But like I say, sorry, it cut off then. Sorry. Like I say, being with Al and Ed, I was with them from my start of pro career. I can't fault them. They got me to a very high level, and we had some wicked nights. And we didn't leave on bad terms or nothing. I called Al straight away and let him know that I wanted to obviously make a comeback, and that I've been up to Sheffield. I've done a bit of training, that I would be coming up here. Would no longer be going back to the iBox to make my return. And he was fine. He wished me all the best, and he wished me all the best, and I hope I do well. Do you know what I mean? Same as Ed and same as everyone in the gym. I'll always I've like good memories and good times in that gym, and I'll never forget that.
Do you think it was necessary that you had to kind of get out your comfort zone to like make this kind of comeback and get out of London and a whole new scene?
Yeah, I think coming out of my comfort zone, and it's a big sacrifice leaving my family and being up here. It's not that I needed to be away from London and be away from like friends and family and everything, because I'm a bad liver and I'm out every night and I'm doing things I shouldn't be doing, because that's not me. I live a good life. Do you know what I mean? But it's just I feel like I can just get away from everything and just knuckle down. All I'm doing up here is eat, sleep, and train, and that's what I want to be doing. I'm not getting no younger. So I've got a good buzz about me. I just eat, sleep, and train, and that's what it's all about up here. Dom's a world class trainer. He knows it. He knows everything about boxing. He's been around boxing all his life. I think I'm in good hands.
So just going back to what you were saying about Dom, I mean, when you sat down and kind of like had these conversations with Dom about training up there permanently, did he ask you like what your realistic like ambitions are, and did he offer his kind of like perspective as in where he thinks you could reach?
Yeah, we spoke about what I wanted to achieve and what I wanted to go on and do. I'm realistic. Do you know what I mean? I believe I can fight for a European title. I believe I'm European level. Do you know what I mean? I can go on and achieve that. No doubt about it. I've mixed at that level, and I've beat people who's gone on and won European titles. So obviously being at boxing for the European title was a loss, but that just wasn't me, and everyone who knows me, that weren't me. Things going on, and that just wasn't me. But there's no excuses. I lost to the better guy, but I want to come back, and I'll be coming back at a new weight. I'll be coming back at 154. I won't be doing 147, and that's something Dom said. Dom said I probably could make 147, but I'm 33 now, not 20. I'm 33 now, not 23. He said so. It's going to be taking weight off. I don't need to be taken off and be comfortable, and I think it's a good idea coming back at a new fresh start after a long layoff at a new weight and new challenges. If it means I come back to domestic level, then so be it. There's some great domestic fights out there, but I want to push on and get to European level, and if I get there and win that, listen, the world's my oyster, then who knows what could happen.
So I suppose the next question would be, obviously you've been training with Dom for the last couple of months. What, realistically, when would you like to or kind of expect to be out? I know COVID's like in the way at the moment, but in an ideal world, what's your kind of like thoughts on when you want to be back in the ring?
I'd like to be back early in the new year. Definitely, for the way I've been training, and I'm progressing each day, each week, each month. I'm coming up here. I think early New Year is more than realistic for me to get back. Just like the first thing for me was to sort out, obviously training and new training. I found it in Dom, and now the next thing I'll be sorting out is my promotional contract with Frank and Queensbury's expired now, and I've got no manager at the minute. So that'll be the next stage, finding obviously where I'm at promotionally and management wise. So I obviously get the fights in then.
So that was going to be my next question actually, about obviously you're aligned to kind of Frank. Do you see like yourself kind of like getting back to Frank, or is it literally free agent, just kind of fight on whatever show you can kind of get on, really?
Yeah, I think this stage of my career, I just need to just do what's best for me, and what will be will be. We'll see what happens and see where I'm at.
Do you think as well, because you've been out of the ring for like 2 years, so it'll probably be over 2 years by the time kind of you get back, that you need like a couple of, let's say, warm-up fights, but like 6-8 rounders, or do you ideally just want to get straight back in there for maybe a 10-rounder or decent?
Yeah, in an ideal world, that would be like a realistic thing to do, but with all this COVID going on, and like the shows, there's like 5 bouts minimum to a show, and I think it's going to be hard to get in and just have a, like, so to speak, warm-up fight. So the experience is there. I've been boxing 9-10 years professionally, so I'm doing good things in the gym. So if the phone rings and there's an opportunity there, then I'll be taking it.
There could be opportunities, and from Frank, Eddie, that maybe put you as an away fighter against one of maybe their prospects. Would that kind of interest you?
That's what I'm expecting, to be honest. That's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting everyone to be looking at me thinking, oh, he's 33 now, he's been out of the ring 2 years, out his last 3 fights he's lost 2, been stopped in them both. Let's chuck him in, sort of thing. But let's just see.
Yeah, absolutely. What in an ideal world again, how long would you like to kind of continue boxing for? Do you have like a time frame in mind?
Yeah, if I'm 33 now, I've always said by the time I'm 35 I'd like to be done with boxing, but if I'm winning and everything's going well and 2 years go past and I'm still winning and achieving good things, then why stop? Do you know what I mean? It's not like I'm like I'm that sort of fighter to be taking beatings and I'm in wars every time. I'm not that sort of fighter. So I think obviously my last fight getting beat the way I did, getting stopped like that, it's not good. So that did, but that's not really bothered me and it's affected me on any way. But yeah, if all going well and I keep winning and everything's going well, then I'll be fighting on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you ever look back at your like losses? Do you ever like rewatch them? Are you one of these that kind of studies them, rewatches them, or are you a fighter where you lost and you don't really want to revisit it for obvious reasons?
Yeah, the European title had a lot of things going on outside the ring. No, I'm not spoken about. I won't speak about it. It's just like personal stuff was happening, and it's one of them. I shouldn't really box, but I'm a man, and I was over there and I had to box, so I didn't pull out. So that's just me, and I learned from that mistake I made, and I won't be doing it again. But it's the same as my last one. A lot of things went on. Like I didn't have an opponent, and the opponent got changed like 4 or 5 times. The fight was for a title, then it wasn't. Then it was just a lot of things going on that, and then I just wasn't focused, to be honest. I just got come to fight night. I just knew I wasn't myself. I just wasn't focused one bit. I walked out and it was empty in there. It was empty. Like literally, the only people who was in there was the people watching me. That's how it seemed. And I just wasn't. I just knew from the ring walk I wasn't switched on. And then the first round come, and then I was doing fine. Do you know what I mean? I was just doing me on my jab. Second round come, weren't switched on. Got caught with a shot, and then that was it. Got up, didn't finish on my back. Do you know what I mean? I got up, and obviously I was unsteady, but I still believe I could have carried on. But yeah, the ref stopped the fight, so it was just one of them. I'm more disappointed with myself for like I shouldn't have been in there again. Another like all these opponents changing and this one, that one, this title, not that title. I just didn't know if I was coming or going, so it was one of them.
Yeah, I remember watching that. I was watching it with my mate, and it was like it was supposed to be not a foregone conclusion. I don't like using that in boxing, but it's supposed to be like you're supposed to win probably quite comfortably, and but you
Yeah,
got caught. And was it Brentford too? Centre one of the, was it?
Brentwood, yeah,
Yeah,
Brentwood, yeah.
and just obviously it was like a shock for me watching, and you know, do you kind of obviously in hindsight wish? I know hindsight's a wonderful thing, but do you kind of wish you didn't take that fight and you know maybe spoke up and said, look, I don't actually, I don't want to take this fight, even if it was like, that sort of like kind of winnable fight, so to speak.
Yeah, yeah. If that sort of thing happened again, then I wouldn't be entertaining it. Do you know what I mean?